live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon or good evening. Hello, welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. I'm Alexander.
Golden Loon.
And you, thank you so much for coming in and watching us. Today is Sunday, aka Sunday, March 1st, 2026. Ooh. March time's on.
Yes.
Time marches on, whatever. I screwed that up epically, as I usually do. Anyway, this show is about interesting, important events that happened throughout the annals of recorded history on this date. Starting with 752 BC. According to mythology, Romulus, the first king of Rome, celebrated the first Roman triumph after his victory over the Saracens following the struggle of the Sabine women. So we actually have a image of that here. So this is him coming in and celebrating. Appears to be carrying his armor here, really glorious golden armor. Looks like he had multiple helmets. This lady's carrying like a different helmet here. So, but there's another helmet on there. So
it's hard to determine exactly what everything means in that picture.
It's just him coming in and celebrating. Oh, there's a dead body here with blood. Okay, that's nice. Anyway, from the other source it says Romulus, the first king of Rome, celebrated the first Roman triumph after his victory over the Saracens, the whatever, I don't know.
The losers.
Yeah. 509 BC, Publius Valerius Publius celebrated the first triumph of the Roman Republic after his victory over the deposed king Lucius Tarquinius Superbus at the Battle of Silva Arzia. 86 BC, Lucius Cornelius Sulla, at the head of the Roman Republic army, entered Athens, removing the tyrant Aristion, who was supported by troops of Mithridates the Sixth of Pontus. All right. 293, now we're in the AD. Roman Emperor Maximinus. We're still in Rome, though. Yeah. Roman Emperor Maximinus introduced a Tetrarchy, rule of 4 people, elevating Galerius and Constantinus Taurus to Caesar. And it's telling me to image search this, which I will, because it's a rather interesting image. The 4 emperors right here. So you have, let's see, open image in new tab. Oh, beautiful. So you have Maximinus Augustus, who actually has, Rome.
Oh, that's a cool map.
It is. But there's this Constantinus Caesar, who has Gaul and everything, and Britannia, and all that stuff. Yeah. But he breaks this guy apart on the land. He also has Spain, and he has all of this.
Oh, I see.
Carthage.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, it's color-coded.
Yeah. So, this one guy has all the orange. This guy has these, that green. Galerius Caesar has this area. And then Diocletianus Augustus has Egypt. Yeah. And going up into here into...
Middle
what
East.
Is now Turkey and all that stuff, and this is Greece, or what would become Greece and everything. So, yeah, really interesting. Well, because they had they conquered Egypt, and Egypt was Ptolemy. That was that goes as far back as Alexander the Great. It's really interesting when you think about it. Like Alexander the Great, his empire was more or less like this, and right here we have or like somewhere in this area is Constantinople, or what is now Istanbul. So through Alexander the Great, through ancient Egypt, Rome, and then modern times, you can follow one string of history. That's pretty wild, huh? Anyway, what else do we got here? 350. Wait, hold on a second. Here we go. 350. Vetranio proclaimed himself Caesar after being encouraged to do so by Constantiana, sister of Constantinus II. All right. And we're still in Rome, 743. Gosh, that's Rome. A lot of
Rome stuff going on.
The Roman Council at Stennis decreed that Christian slaves may not be owned by Jews, fearing that the slaves may convert to Judaism. That is a real possibility. Yeah.
Then they wouldn't be slaves. Is that it?
Well, no, because there are still Jewish slaves, and
they said the Jews couldn't own the slaves.
Christian slaves.
Yeah, Christian
slaves. If the slave is Christian, a Jew cannot own them, but that does not mean that Jews cannot own slaves. They can only not own Christian slaves.
Okay.
Because there could be Jewish slaves, there could be Islamic slaves.
But then it says they would convert. They could convert to
fearing that the slaves may convert to Judaism. Yes,
because
I
see.
The master.
Okay, I got it.
Anyway, 1260, Hulagu Khan, grandson of Genghis, conquered Damascus. All right. 1382, Melitwin uprising against taxes in France. That's something I think we can all support. 1420, Pope Martinius I called for a crusade against the Hussite Protestants. 1457, the United Faratum was established in the village of Kunwald on the Bohemian Moravian borderland. It is to date the second oldest Protestant denomination. Wow.
Those Bohemians.
Yeah. 1516, printing is completed of Erastus's Novum Instrumentarium Omni, the first published New Testament in Greek. And I'm going to image search this because it looks interesting, the actual, the cover of that book or something. Like, look at that. That looks pretty wild. I'd like to own that book.
Yeah.
It looks cool. What else do we got here? 1562, bloodbath at Versailles. Francois de Goussay's troops opened fire on Huguenot congregation. The first event in the wars of the religion. The French wars of religion, I guess. Yeah, 63 Huguenots were massacred in Wassy, France, marking the start of the French wars of religion. Wow. 1565, Portuguese soldier Estácio de Sá founded the city of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Happy birthday, Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
1579, British Admiral and explorer Francis Drake surprised and captured the Spanish treasure ship Nuestra Señora de la Concepción off the coast of Peru, Drake's richest plunder. It's one heck of a...
know of somewhere in our history for Francis Drake. I don't know why. That just rings a bell.
Well, this was before... the 1400s was when we first started colonizing.
We weren't in the United States, but we were definitely colonized.
Yeah. Well, Francis Drake...
So he did something over here.
You know what? 1579 to 17, he didn't live to 150 some odd years.
No, of course not.
Trying to figure out what you're thinking. The Golden Hind.
He may have sailed over here. Whatever. Who knows?
Well, it says here he circumnavigated the world. It took him 3 years.
Okay, well, maybe that's what he's known for then. I just know the name.
Yeah, he's an explorer and everything. Yeah. He landed on California.
Oh, wow.
So, alright, well, he has done some things here. 1591, Pope Gregory XIV threatened to excommunicate French King Henry IV.
Whoa.
Why? We can't look it up right now. No. If anybody can let us know, tell us in the comment sections. Why did...
Sounds like a power struggle to me.
Yeah. 1628, writs were issued in February by Charles I of England, mandating that every country in England, not just seaport towns, pay ship tax by this date. Mm-hmm. So, how can you pay a ship tax if you don't even have a seaport? Or if you're not even on the water? Like, that just sounds like he's just imposing even more of a ridiculous tax. Or, like, would that be, like, is it a general tax everybody has to pay, or do you have to pay it if you're...
ship tax.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a ship, if I'm reading it right.
What I'm thinking, though, is, like, maybe he was concerned about people storing their ships in non-taxed inland locations or something, because, like, if this is a ship tax, then you can store it over there by the cliff, and there's no ship tax.
Yeah.
But then, you have ships that are getting stored by the cliff, and then it could cause damage and all sorts of problems, so... 1642, Georgiana, York in Maine became the first incorporated American city. All right.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so York, Maine. 1670, a Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I ordered the expulsion of Jews from Vienna. Why? 1692, Sarah Guild, Sarah Osborne, and Tabitua were interrogated after accusations that they were practitioners of witchcraft in Salem, Massachusetts Bay Colony. What would become known as the Salem Witch Trials.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's the date on that again?
1692.
Yeah, okay,
Yep. 1711, Richard Steele and Joseph Addison published the first edition of The Spectator in London to enliven morality with wit and to temper it with morality. What? Enliven morality with wit and to temper wit with morality. Oh, okay. That's interesting. 1780, Pennsylvania became the first U.S. state to abolish slavery for newborns only. All right. 1781, Continental Congress officially adopted the Articles of Confederation, the first Constitution of the United States of America, after ratification by the 13th state, Maryland. All right. And, Articles of Confederation. What is this? This is some kind of disaster.
That's a weird picture, whatever
What is that? That's the storming and killing of something. I don't know. I'm okay. And here's that first city that we were talking about,
Oh,
York.
Yeah, York.
Yep. I'm trying to. Here we go. Wait, no, that's. I think that's Texas. We're going to be talking about Texas here. Yeah, eventually here. Anyway, 1785, Philadelphia Society for the Promotion of Agriculture was organized. 1790, the first U.S. Census was authorized. So cool. So now they're figuring out, how many people are in 1790. So actually, that's pretty on point there. 1796, the first national meeting of the Hague. The Dutch East India Company was nationalized by the Batavian Republic. Wait, those are two different things. So, whoops. So I read them both anyway. 1803, Ohio became the 17th state of the Union.
All right.
Yeah. Ohio. 2 years later, Justice Samuel Chase was acquitted at the end of his impeachment trial by the U.S. Senate. Just in the nick of time with that one. And what do we?
Well, you can be impeached, but then you're tried for the impeachment.
Then he was acquitted.
Right.
So,
just like Trump was.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Let me know when you're going to do that, so you're not coughing right into the mic.
Sorry.
Poor audience. 1809, Embargo Act of 1807, USA repealed, and Non-Intercourse Act was signed. What? So what is the Embargo Act of 1807, as far as the USA one? Why was it repealed? And what is a Non-Intercourse Act? Is it have something
interaction of some sort?
Yeah. We do not have the time to look this up on the show, unfortunately. We got to rattle these off because it's the first of the month, and that always means there's a lot of you can actually see how many pages. We're at 6 out of 45 right now.
Wow.
1811, Egyptian King Muhammad Ali Pasha oversaw ceremonial murder of 500 people. Yikes! I think that's what that
crazy picture was.
Yeah. 1815, Sunday observance in Netherlands was regulated by law. So now you had to go to church by law. That doesn't sound good.
No.
We also have Napoleon returned to France from his banishment on Elba. And actually that reminds me, there was this one scene here, and I'm only going to play a little bit of it. But it was from this movie, Waterloo in 1970. But it's Napoleon, he's coming back.
Oh, okay.
There's here's the French army and everything. They're heading him off at the pass, and right here, and they're presenting arms, and then they present arms, and he's just put the arms down. We're not here to fight. All that stuff. And here we go. Let's see if he says anything. Oh.
If you want to kill your emperor, here I am.
See, I'm not sure how historically accurate this scene is, but tensions were high and everything. And I want to see this movie because, this, you can see him sweating and everything, and I skipped over a section earlier when you saw how nervous he was. But
okay, let's move on. We got a ton of stuff.
Fire!
I'm just trying to show the dramatization.
Wow, you said fire and they didn't fire?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
That's why I waited. See? It was... people loved the Emperor, but he had been exiled. So it was a wild thing when he came back. He returned from his banishment, man. So,
yeah.
1831, Lord John Russell introduced the Reform Bill in the British House of Commons on the government's behalf to revamp the electoral system of England and Wales and increase the franchise. All right. 1836, a convention of delegates from 57 Texas communities convened in Washington on the Brazos, Texas, to deliberate independence from Mexico. So that's what this is right here. They're convening, and so initially, as we know, they were Mexico. And then they became Texas, and then they became part of the U.S., and then they seceded, and they were part of the South, the Confederacy, and then they got reabsorbed into the U.S. again.
Right.
So we've been over this a couple of times. 1845, U.S. President John Tyler signed a resolution annexing the Republic of Texas. So there you go. So that's 9 years later. So somewhere in there, they became their own republic, and then we got them. And then the Civil War is going to come up here soon. 1847, Michigan became the first English-speaking jurisdiction to abolish the death penalty, except for treason against the state, which makes sense. 1854, German psychologist Friedrich Edward Bennick disappeared. 2 days later, his remains were found in the canal near Charlottenburg. What happened? The SS City of Glasgow left Liverpool Harbor with approximately 480 passengers and crew. The ship was never seen again. Yikes. It's the risk you took, though, back in those days. Even today.
Yeah.
1859, President Seal of San Francisco, or the Present Seal of San Francisco was adopted. It's second. So I think the one that's currently still today, it says Present Seal.
Yeah.
1864, Louis Ducos de Harpton patented a movie machine that was never built. Okay.
That's weird.
Oh, and here's the ship that left, I believe.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm just trying to keep... that picture is hilarious, and you'll know why here in a minute. 1864 as well, Rebecca Lee in the U.S. became the first black Stadian woman to receive a medical degree. All right.
Oh, yeah.
1866, War of the Triple Alliance, Paraguayan canoes sunk 2 Brazilian ironclads on the Rio Parana. Yes, canoes sunk
Wow.
ironclads.
Wow.
Look at that. You see people rowing in the canoes, and you have this armored warship with cannons sticking out of it that's sinking. How bad do you have to fuck up to lose an ironclad to a canoe? Wow.
That is wild.
Yeah. 1867, most of Nebraska became the 37th U.S. state. It was expanded later.
Oh, okay.
Yep. 1869, U.S. postage stamps featuring scenes were issued for the first time depicting a post, horse, and rider, a locomotive, a shield, an eagle, and a ship, specifically the Adriatic. Okay? Here's an image of the horse one. So it's just 2 cents postage. 1870, War of the Triple Alliance finally ended with the Battle of Cerro Cora and the death of Paraguayan dictator Francisco Solano Lopez after over 5 years of bloodshed between Paraguay and Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. Wow. So Paraguay and Argentina were fighting, and then Brazil and Uruguay were also fighting, but somehow those two were also connected. Weird. Wild. Marshal F.S. Lopez died during the Battle of Cerro Cora, thus marking the end of the Paraguayan War. All right. 1871, the victorious Prussian army paraded through Paris, France, after the end of the siege of Paris during the Franco-Prussian War. 72, Yellowstone became the world's first national park. Yep.
Didn't we just read about that yesterday?
I don't think so.
I thought we did.
We spoke about a national park, or the largest national
we
park.
talked about it, because it was the first national park. Okay, anyways, go on.
1873, E. Remington and Sons in Ilion, New York, began production of the first practical typewriter, the Remington. Yeah. 75, U.S. Congress passed the Civil Rights Act, invalidated by Supreme Court in 1883.
Wow, they overturned it.
Yeah. I wonder why. 76, Guernsey Cattle Club formed in Farmington, Connecticut. All right. And it has to be for farm cows and all that stuff. Farmington, what a name. Yeah, it sounds like a Sim City or something. I'm just going to check to see if we have any comments. Nope. 1878, the first winter ascent of Veneto, highest mountain in the Pyrenees. All right. And 1879, the Library of Hawaii was founded. So now they can get some books and everything. Moving on up into 1886, the Anglo-Chinese School in Singapore was founded by Bishop William Oldham. Oldham, what a name. I hope it's not spoiled, though. So, but that's cool. Now we're integrating different cultures under the same roof. That's awesome.
Yeah.
1890, the first U.S. edition of Sherlock Holmes' first story, A Study in Scarlet, by author Conan Doyle, was published. Conan Doyle, that's a name that's still going around today. Every now and then I see advertisements, blah, 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 published by author Conan Doyle.
Oh, yeah?
I thought he was a more recent author, but obviously not.
Oh, well, no.
1893, Diplomatic Appropriation Act authorized the U.S. the rank of ambassador. Okay? Or authorized the U.S. rank of ambassador. I guess for other countries. That's an interesting thing. We also have the electrical engineer Nikola Tesla gave the first public demonstration of radio in St. Louis, Missouri. And we have an artist rendition of it. It's a little small, but here you see him up on the stage in front of a class demonstrating the radio. That's epic. What else do we got? Yep, 1896, the Battle of Adwa. 80,000 Ethiopians destroyed 20,000 Italians in Ethiopia, killing 2 generals and capturing General Matteo Albertone during ending the First Italo-Ethiopian War. Yeah, Italy wanted Ethiopia bad. Remember what I was talking about right before the outbreak of the Second World War? Italy did finally actually take Ethiopia. So, 1896, Henry Becquerel discovered radioactivity. Now, the other source states decay. And those are, well, I guess decay is radioactivity. So, but yeah, if anybody wants to know how radioactivity works and all that stuff, we have the repulsive electromagnetic force and then the attractive nuclear strong force. And beta particle and alpha particle, they're being, like discharged gamma rays going that way. I don't really know nuclear physics and all that stuff, but I know it's powerful. 1900s now, we're finally in the 1900s. The Australian Army was formed. All right.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool. 1903, Major League Baseball ruled committee rule that pitcher's mound must not be more than 15 inches higher than the baselines or home plates.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Pitcher's mound.
Yeah. 1909, the first U.S. University School of Nursing was established, University of Minnesota. All right. 1910, a wall of snow collapsed in the Cascade Mountain Range, burying 3 passenger trains, killing 96 people near Stevens Pass in Washington. 23 people survived the worst avalanche in U.S. history. Wow. That's terrible.
Yeah.
1912, Isabella Goodwin was appointed the first U.S. woman detective, New York City. You know, like that, out of all the careers, detective is the best for women because they will find anything on your ass. 1912, U.S. Army Captain Albert Berry performed the first attached-type parachute jump from an airplane. So I think that that's when you jump, you have a hook, when they jumped over Normandy and all that stuff. 1912, U.S. Army Captain, we got that one. 1913, David Beatty became the Rear Admiral commanding the Royal Navy's first battlecruiser squadron.
Oh.
All right. 13 as well, the first state law required bonding of officers and state employees in North Dakota. What would that be? Bonding of officers and state employees.
I don't know.
So or I guess a government officer is in charge of a state government employee.
I don't get how that connects. I don't get it.
If anyone can let us know, tell us in the comment section. 1914, the Republic of China joined the Universal Postal Union. Okay. 1916, Germany began attacking ships in the Atlantic, unrestricted submarine warfare and all that stuff. 1 year later, the first federal land bank chartered in the U.S., freaking Rothschilds. 1917 as well, the U.S. government released the planned text of the Zimmerman telegram to the public. Germany proposed a reward to Mexico if they joined a war against the U.S. Yeah, it was printed in newspapers. Where'd my water go?
I don't know.
Is it trying to...
Are you out of water?
Where did it go? That is weird. Okay. It's nowhere.
You don't even have an empty bottle.
No.
It's weird.
That's very odd. 1919, March 1st...
Sip?
No, thanks. 1919, the March 1st or Samel movement began in Korea. It is a demonstration of resistance to Japanese occupation. Yeah, well, that's what you get for opening your borders to a xenophobic, entity. 1920, Mikhail Horthy was elected Regent of Hungary, which had adopted a constitution on February 28th. So I guess they adopted it yesterday, and then this guy was elected. That's pretty cool. 1 year later, Rwanda was ceded to Great Britain, so they became an ownership thing there. Now, 1921, the primary source says sailors revolt in Kronstadt, Russia. Okay. That sounds like whatever. Yeah. Other source says, following mass protests in Petrograd demanding greater freedom of the RSFSR, the Kronstadt rebellion began with sailors and citizens taking up arms against the Bolsheviks. That's a little bit more substantial.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1921, spin bowler Arthur Maley took 5 for 119, recorded 36 wickets for series to lead Australia to a 9-wicket 5th Test win over England and Sydney. First ever 5-0 Ashes cricket series, won for Australia. In 1921, the other source says the Australian cricket team, captained by Warwick Armstrong, became the first team to complete a whitewash of the Ashes, something that would not be repeated for 86 years.
Uh-oh.
Crikey! On a cracker. 1924, Germany's prohibition of Communist Party KPD was lifted. 1927, the Bank of Italy, later the Bank of America, became an American national bank. So don't you forget, if you ever join Bank of America because you're one of those schmucks who are like, oh, I'm going to be patriotic, I'm joining the Bank of America. No, it was the Bank of Italy. You know, that's how it
Yep.
started.
Yep.
I
I
you
believe
know,
the Bank of Italy, and they founded it here in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken.
you know what? Does that mean if there's a run on the Bank of America and they don't have any dollars, we can say they're without papers? In 1928, Paul Whitman and his orchestra recorded Old Man River
Okay.
for Victor Records featuring Bing Crosby. All right. 32, 12 pro-independence revolutionaries were captured in and around Chittagong in Bengal Province, British India, and were sentenced to deportation for life, 2 to 3 year prison terms, with the remaining 32 being acquitted. Wow. 1932 as well, the Lindbergh kidnapping. A 20-month-old, or the 20-month-old son of Charles and Anne Lindbergh was kidnapped from home in East Anwell, New Jersey, was found dead later on May 12th. So this is when he was kidnapped.
Yeah,
Now I want to repeat, and I'm not sure if you remember or not, but
I
like,
do.
so you remember what I said about all that stuff? Just anybody watching, please look into that. There is speculation that Charles actually killed the kid himself accidentally. But you know, and don't forget that he's also a Nazi sympathizer. So like, there's a lot of dirt on Charles Lindbergh, a lot of speculations. Just go down that rabbit hole yourself. I do not have the time to really explain anything. We have a lot of stuff to do in this show here. 1933, bank holidays declared in 6 states to prevent run-on banks. Oh, kind of weird that I was talking about running on the Bank of America. 1936, a strike occurred aboard the SS California, leading to the demise of the International Seamen's Union and the creation of the National Maritime Union. Okay.
Of course, 33 was right after the Roaring 20s when everything fell apart.
Yeah. Yeah, during the Great Depression, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, right there. 1936, Boulder Hoover Dam fully completed. That was a massive government project to create, you know,
thousands went down there to get a
jobs
job.
and everything. So, 1937, first permanent automobile license plate were issued in Connecticut. All right. Oh, by the way, which reminds me, there's a new thing going on. We need to take a razor blade to our year sticker, you know, our registration sticker, and gently make a little hashes, because there's this thing going on now that a lot of people are stealing people's stickers for themselves off of their license plates.
So how's that going to do anything when you?
If they pull it, it's going to come apart.
Oh.
So if you take a little razor blade and, you know, cut a couple things, they're going to try to take. If they try to take it off, it's going to come apart and become useless. Like, either way, you're going to need to get yourself a new sticker, but this stops them from getting a free one.
Yeah.
You know, off of your ass, because you're going to have to need to buy a new one. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure that'll cost you.
You have to get it replaced in some way. You
Yeah.
don't have to buy a new one.
Yeah. Anyway, 1937, U.S. Steel raised workers' wages to $5 a day. Wow, man. I wish I lived in the day when money actually meant something. 1938, Federal Trade Commission ordered 8 manufacturers and the PGA of America to end their practice of golf ball price fixing. Yeah. 39, Japanese Imperial Army ammunition dump exploded at Hirakata, Osaka, Japan, killing 94. 1941, first U.S. commercial FM radio station went on the air in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah. We also have Captain America, created by cartoonists Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, was first published by Timely Comics. The premiere issue was released on December 20th, 1940. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, so it was already out, but this is when it was published for Timely Comics.
Yeah.
Because this is 1941.
Right.
41 as well, commander of the SS, Heinrich Himmler, inspected Auschwitz concentration camp for the first time, ordered it to be expanded. Oh, God. 41 as well, former University of Notre Dame star fullback Elmer Layden was named the first commissioner of the NFL. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
41 as well, German troops invaded Bulgaria, and then Bulgaria signed the Tripartite Pact, allying itself with the Axis powers, so it sounds like they got annexed on the same day. Jeez. That's a blitzkrieg, you know?
Yeah.
42, the 3-day Battle of Java Sea ended. The U.S. suffers a major naval defeat. We spoke about this yesterday or the day before, I guess, when it started. I remember, actually, I think it was yesterday. Like, we lost, 9 ships and they lost 2 or something?
Yeah, that's right.
42, Japanese troops occupied Kalajijate Airport in Java. They occupied Japanese forces landed on Java, the main island of the Dutch East Indies, at Merak and Banten Bay in Banten, Eritan Watan in Draramio, and Kragan, Remabang. Wow, that's a hell of an invasion there. 42, Major League Baseball owners decided not to allow players in the military to play for their clubs when on furlough. Yeah, that makes sense. Because, like, you know, like, yeah, that'd be cool to allow a soldier to go play. But that soldier, when he goes back, may die. And all that time you're spending, now you have to train another guy. And then, you know, you're so, yeah, it's just not worth it for the time and the investment and all that stuff. 1942, Tito established a second proletarian brigade to fight Axis occupation in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So wasn't he a bad guy, Tito? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he still fought the Germans. So that's, you know, he was at least against the Axis. So there's that. Silver lining to every black cloud, you know. 1943, Jewish old age home for disabled in Amsterdam was raided. That is terrible. Absolutely. They're old, disabled people. Leave them alone. You know? Like, I have one of them myself.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well, I mean, like, you know, I'm disabled in the same sense. You know? So. 1945, U.S. Infantry Regiment captured Mönchengladbach. I just wanted to read that, just to challenge myself. 1946, British government nationalized and took control of the Bank of England after 252 years. That sounds like a Rothschild's move right there. 46, Panama accepted its new constitution.
Oh, okay.
Don't pull a Panama, though. No Panama. 1947, International Monetary Fund began operation. That's just what we need. 1947, the MLB Cleveland Indians owner Bill Veeck set up a spring training camp in racially tolerant Phoenix, Arizona, in anticipation of signing the team's first black players. Larry Dolby was the first acquisition later in the season. All right, that's cool. You know, setting up a training camp that will be equal for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, preemptively. That's awesome. 49, former world heavyweight boxing champion Joe Louis retired with a 66-3-0 record, including 52 knockouts, defending the title a record 25 times.
Yeah,
awesome.
One of the great ones.
Yeah. 1950, Klaus Fuchs was sentenced in London to 14 years for atomic espionage. Yeah, he disclosed top secret atomic bomb data to the Soviet Union. That piece of shit. So, yeah, this guy. He looks like Harry Potter, but he also has a very punchable face. Like, don't you want just, like, you know, like, you rat. 1950, the USSR issued golden rubles. All right. 1952, Helagoland in the North Sea returned to West Germany by Britain. All right. 53 as well. After an all-night movie and dinner session with his top advisors, Joseph Stalin suffered a stroke and collapsed. He died 4 days later.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and actually there is a scene really quick, and we're actually only half hour, and so we can Death of Stalin. There we go. Death of Stalin scene. I've talked with you about this movie before. Have I? Do you remember that movie, Death of Stalin?
I don't.
It's an interesting movie, but let me just play this scene here.
Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin, you have betrayed our nation and destroyed its people. I pray for your end and ask the Lord to forgive you. Tyrant.
You talk about a tyrant.
So that's obviously hitting the ground.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm playing this for a
Should
reason.
you investigate? Should you shut the fuck up before you get us both killed?
See, Stalin ruled with so much fear that he prevented his own life from being saved on multiple occasions. It wasn't until the following morning before like other bigwigs who were permitted to go in went in and found him on the floor, and that's actually covered in this movie as well. But like, you know, these guys, they heard him, but they didn't go in, and no doctor wanted to work on him out of fear that if they did anything and fucked anything up, they'll get killed, or if anything botched, or whatever reason.
Or just couldn't save him.
Yeah. You know, so they just, you know, he ruled with such fear, he was the instrument of his own demise. Absolute idiot. 1954, 4 Puerto Ricans opened fire in the U.S. House of Representatives, injuring 5 members. Wow, that's not good.
I never heard of that.
Holy shit. Yeah, armed Puerto Rican nationalist in the United States Capitol building. Wow. We also have future Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder Ted Williams fractured his collarbone on the first day of Boston Red Sox spring training. Injury kept him out of Boston lineup until May 15th. That sucks. We also have a rebellion in Egypt during the visit of President Nagujib to Khartoum, Sudan, caused 30 deaths. They did not want him there. 54, U.S. exploded Castle Bravo, a 15-megaton hydrogen bomb at Bikini Atoll, which accidentally became the most powerful nuclear device ever detonated by the U.S. It was because, like, they were doing something, like, there's something, like, that they didn't calculate. I think they just put in so much plutonium or whatever, they didn't do the science correctly, and it ended up being, like, multitudes of times bigger than they initially predicted. So...
they didn't calculate it correctly.
Yeah, like, well, they calculated it correctly to their knowledge, but they didn't realize that, like, if you have, like, 5 blocks of this versus 10, then it's not gonna multiply by 2. It's gonna multiply by 7, or something.
It'll
like
go up exponentially.
Yeah. What else do we got here? 1955, Israeli assault on Gaza, killing 48. Yep. 55, Pakistan and India played out a draw in the 5th cricket test at the National Stadium in Karachi. 5 test series draw 0-0. All right.
Just can't resist.
No, I can't. 1956, Crazy Arms single released by Ray Price hits his first number 1 Billboard Song of the Year 1956. I'm a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Crazy Arms. 1956, East Germany established the National People's Army, the NVA, to serve as its armed forces, because they need a defense thing. 1956, the International Air Transport Association finalized a draft of the radio telephony spelling alphabet for the International Civil Aviation Organization. So that's probably like, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, or whatever, like Bravo, Hotel.
Yeah.
1957, Kokomo, the chimp, became Today's Show animal editor. That's interesting. So they had it like just, yeah.
I don't remember the actual chimp, but I remember his name and whatever.
Oh, all right. 1958, 21-year-old West Indian cricket all-rounder Garfield Sobers turned his maiden test century in a world record 365 no in the Windies' third test win over Pakistan in Kingston, Jamaica. Sobers and Conrad Hunt 260, 446-run partnership for second wicket. Okay. 1958, Samuel Alphonsus Stritch was appointed pro-prefect of the propagation of faith, and thus became the first American member of the Roman Curia. All right. What do we got here? 1961, U.S. President JFK established the Peace Corps.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
1962, Creek State Corporation opened the first Kmart store in Garden City, Michigan. I remember going to Kmart.
Obviously, you'd have to qualify, but especially with Vietnam going on, you could join the Peace Corps instead of the Army.
Ah. Yeah.
So you get out of the draft.
Okay.
But it wasn't easy to get into the Peace Corps because there's a lot of demand.
Yeah. Yeah. 1963, 200,000 French mine workers went on strike. I wonder why. 1 year later, Villarrica volcano began a Strombolian eruption, causing lahars that destroyed half the town of Tetrarchy. And do you know what a lahar is?
Mm-mm.
Like the actually, let's YouTube it really quick. Lahar. I think it's it's like a pyroclastic flow type thing. That's a lahar right there. This is Indonesia.
Oh, this is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it can be mud, it can be lava, whatever it is. Looks like it's muddy lava. Because, they're saying lahar. But it's like a volcanic mudslide and all that stuff. And
It could be water.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's water.
Yeah, but no, it's not just water.
No, but it could be anything.
Yeah, well,
Whoa.
Yeah,
I
oh
don't know
wow.
if that's going to make it or not.
That bridge, oh wow. Huh. Looks like it's, well, I guess not. Is it? I think it's going. No, it made it. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1965. Australian Swimming Authorities suspend triple Olympic gold medal winning sprinter Dawn Fraser for 10 years for misconduct at the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. Alright. 1966, Venera 3 became the first man-made object to impact on a planet, being Venus.
Oh.
Yep, that was Russia. 1967, Dominica and St. Lucia gained independence from Britain. Awesome. 67 as well, MLB Commissioner William Eckert approved the Baseball Writers Association of America's plan to name a Cy Young Award recipient from both the National and American Leagues. Awesome. 1967 as well, U.S. House of Representatives expelled Representative Adam Clayton Powell Jr. 307 to 116. Why? This was 1967, U.S. House of Representatives, yeah. So if anybody can let us know why in the comment section, that'd be great. Do we have any comments here? No, not yet. Okay. 1968, high winds blew off the Philadelphia Spectrum roof, forcing the Flyers to play their final month of the NHL season on the road, with home games moved to Toronto, New York City, and Quebec City. All right. That's kind of funny.
Structural damage.
The Flyers and their roof flew off. 1968, NBC's unprecedented on-air announcement, Star Trek will return. All right. We also have Vatican City's Apostolic Constitution of 1967 went into effect. What does that entail?
I have no idea.
Yeah. 1969, after 88 weeks, the Beatles' album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band dropped off the charts.
Wow.
Finally.
I wonder how it doesn't say how long it was on the charts for, though.
Well, after 88 weeks.
88. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, 88 weeks. Okay.
Here we go. Jim Morrison in 1969 allegedly exposed himself on stage at the Dinner Key Auditorium in Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
That sounds like something he would do?
Well,
You could-
yes, it does. But I also talked to people in the know, and they said no, it was bogus to bust his ass because he's a bit crazy.
So so did he or did he not? And was it?
I don't believe he did.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't know for a fact, but when managers and band members and stuff are saying, "Nah, he didn't do that. That's crazy. He's done a lot of crazy stuff, but that wasn't one of them." And what they say he actually did was put his finger out his zipper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you've told me that story before.
Yeah, that's.
And I think
I
I've
don't
heard
know
that story
firsthand,
before.
but I know it's secondhand.
Yeah. Well, you knew the guy kind of, so
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah, that's really interesting. 1969, New York Yankee legend Mickey Mantle announced his retirement due to persistent knee injury and finished an 18-season career with 536 home runs and a .298 batting average. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
1969,
Really good.
yeah,
Lifetime,
yeah,
pretty close to 300, which is unheard of, and today especially.
yeah. 1969 as well, Phil Esposito had a goal and assist in Boston Bruins' 8-5 win over New York Rangers to give him 99 points for the season, breaking the NHL record for most points in a season in 97, held by Stan McKenna. All right. We're still in 1969. Tuesday Testa became the first female jockey to win a race at a major American thoroughbred track when she took out the third race at Santa Anita Park aboard Buzz On. Now, did we cover the first female jockey ever? Like, it was at, like, whatever racetrack it's in.
I do remember something.
In Florida, like some weird name, like Sapupu racetrack or something. I don't know.
But I do remember something about the first female.
And I think we're gonna have another female jockey or something here, but I'm not sure.
I guess they can't be a jock.
1970, Boston's Bobby Orr became the first defenseman in NHL history to score 25 goals in a season during the 3-1 Bruins win over the visiting St. Louis Blues. We also have the Charles Manson's album "Lie" was released. I didn't realize he had an album.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. 1970 as well. End of the U.S. commercial whale hunting. Good.
Yeah.
And too bad Japan doesn't stop. 1970 as well. Minnesota coach Charlie Burns became the final player coach in NHL history when he played in the North Stars 8-0 win over Toronto Maple Leafs. Remained in role for final month of the season. So I guess he was a player and a coach in unison.
Okay, yeah.
So now they can't do that anymore. 1971, a bomb attack on the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Wow. So many things.
A bomb attack.
A bomb attack. So now we have two events happening in the Capitol. That stabbing or whatever it was. That was crazy. 71 as well, clandestine radio Deutsche Reich, Germany, began transmitting on FM. Is that a Nazi thing?
That doesn't sound good. That's illegal, though, in Germany. Anything Nazi is illegal as hell.
Well,
to this day.
Well, yes. Well, I'm just wondering, is it though? Because it says Deutsche Reich, but that just means German kingdom or something. Because the Nazis, they were the Third Reich, but there was a second, a first. So this just means German kingdom or whatever. So, but that's why I'm wondering, is it a Nazi thing or what? Or what is it about?
Or it wouldn't be on the air.
Creative, let us know, please. 1971, President of Pakistan Yahya Khan indefinitely postponed the pending National Assembly session, precipitating massive civil disobedience in East Pakistan. 1972, the Club of Rome, that's another, thing that you gotta pay attention to, published reports Boundaries on the Growth. Club of Rome is another like Illuminati shadow government type of organization, like the World Monetary Fund, all that stuff, Bilderberg, all that, it's all stuff that everybody needs to know about. 1972, 2 Catholic teenagers were shot dead by the Royal Ulster Constabulary while joyriding in a stolen car in Belfast. Well, a real Christian wouldn't steal a car and joyride, let alone do them both. A real Catholic.
That doesn't sound right, does it?
Yeah. 1973, well, I guess they're sinning to keep the priests in business, So I guess they're doing a good thing, question mark. 1973, Harvest in the UK and Capitol Records in the US released Pink Floyd's 8th studio album, The Dark Side of the Moon. It stayed on the Billboard Top 200 album chart for most of the next 14 years, selling over 50 million copies worldwide.
Wow.
It's one of my, every now and then, when I just really need to chill, I smoke a fat doobie and I put on some Pink Floyd. Could be The Wall, could be Dark Side of the Moon, I know there's a couple other albums that I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's when you want to just really just mellow. 1973, Robin Smith rode North Sea to victory into the Promenade Handicap at Aqueduct Racetrack in New York City to become the first American female jockey to win a stakes race. There you go. So there was another female thing. So, but this is a stakes race. I guess there's a first many different things. 73 as well, Black September storms the Saudi Arabia embassy in Khartoum, Sudan, resulting in the assassination of 3 Western hostages. Not good. 74, Australian cricketing brothers Ian, 145, and Greg Chapo, 162, recorded 264 partnership in first test draw versus New Zealand at Wellington. Ian, 121, and Greg, 133, double up with centuries in second innings. All right. I had to do it again. Third time's a charm,
Wow.
So,
let's hope that's the last.
We'll see. I really don't know. In 1974, physicist Stephen Hawking published his landmark paper, Black Hole Explosions, introducing the idea of Hawking radiation. The idea black holes are not truly black because they emit heat. All right. 1975, color television transmission began in Australia. That's cool.
Wow, kind of behind the times.
Yeah. Well, remember we looked at those different countries and with their first color like they had all those different things.
Yeah.
And you said that last time, like it said Australia in 1975, but I love how they did it though. They had the color bleeding in by sections, like they.
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, 1977, the Bank of America adopted the name Visa for its credit cards. So there you go. If you have a Visa, you have a Bank of Italy credit card. God, the levels of deception of this evil entity is outrageous.
It's a bank.
Yeah, it lies with its name. 1977, U.S. extends territorial waters to 200 miles. Okay. 1978, Charlie Chaplin's coffin and remains were stolen from a Swiss cemetery in an extortion plot. What the hell?
Good grief.
79, ESPN and NCAA came to an agreement giving the network worldwide multimedia rights to NCAA championships for various sports. So the National Commission, what is that? NCAA?
That's NCAA. That's
It's
college.
Okay. 1980, Commonwealth Trade Union Council was established, and snow fell in Florida.
No, that's unusual.
And while that was going on, the U.S. enacted the Crude Oil Windfall Profit Tax Act as part of a compromise between the Carter administration and the Congress over the deco control of crude oil or decontrol of crude oil prices. 1981, Houston Rockets guard Calvin Murphy missed a free throw in a 102-86 loss in San Antonio, ending his NBA record consecutive free throw streak of 78.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a bummer. We also have Republican prisoners in the maze began a second hunger strike. Among them is Bobby Sands. A hunger strike in HM prison maze. Oh, okay, so this is the Irish stuff, like the Troubles.
Oh, okay.
The Irish, like the IRA people, a Provisional Irish Republican Army member, Bobby Sands, began his hunger strike. So, 1982, ski lift malfunctions at Luz Adrian in Pyrenees, killing 5 people.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's terrifying. 83, alpine skier Tamara McKinney became the first American female, or U.S. woman, to top the overall World Cup standings with 225 points. Awesome. 1983 as well, a tornado tore through Los Angeles, injuring 33 people. So we've had tornadoes.
Yeah.
Now we have fire tornadoes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I don't either, but that was before me. So, of course, I wouldn't remember.
So you wouldn't remember it.
But I do know that LA does get tornadoes from time to time. 84 as well. Landsat 5 and Ham satellite Oscar 11 were launched in the polar orbit. So that's once again up and over.
Yeah.
1985, the Pentagon accepted a theory that atomic war would cause nuclear winter. Let's not test it out. We don't need to test every theory. 1988, Edmonton's Wayne Gretzky picked up a first-period assist in Oilers' 5-3 win over LA Kings to move ahead of Gordie Howe as NHL's all-time leader in career assists.
Okay.
Howie at 1,049 assists in 26 years. Gretzky at 1,050 in 9 years. Wow.
Yeah, really fast.
Wow.
Really fast.
Wow. 88, for the first time since 1956, the Special Veterans Committee does not elect anyone to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Phil Rizzuto, Lee Drushore, and Joe Gordon and Gil Hodges were passed over.
Well, Gil Hodges, I hope he got in eventually. He was a great Dodger.
Well, let's see here. First baseman, winning 3 goals, blah, blah, blah. Hall of... yeah, here we go. 2022. Wow, that took a while.
Yeah.
2022. Yeah. What was it you were saying? Bill Hodges.
Gil Hodges.
Gil Hodges.
First baseman for the Dodgers.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Gil Hodges are inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Dang. Well, eventually, yeah. 88 as well.
He was still alive. He should have been.
Gil Hodges died in 72. No.
Oh man, not even close.
Well, he was skipped. This was in 88, so they skipped over him after his death. Bastards. Wow.
He had to be fairly young.
He was 47. Man, what a shame. We also have Iraq said it launched 16 missiles into Tehran. It's not nice. The Pontiac announced the end of the Fiero automobile. Now, was
what
it
automobile?
a Fiero? Pontiac Fiero?
Oh.
Does that sound familiar?
No, Pontiac, obviously.
Pontiac Fiero. Let's look. Oh God, this looks like a Chinese version of a DeLorean. Like
No.
that looks awful. Holy crap!
I guess it's their little sports car.
And a little these little lights here.
Obviously, it didn't work. I
Yeah.
don't know how many years around it was, but they discontinued it.
1989, Comet du Toit at perihelion. I just thought that was interesting. We also have the United States became a member of the Berne Convention Copyright Treaty. And Benin nullified its constitution. Benin.
I don't know.
Some
Berlin?
country.
No.
Benin. I know it's a country. I've heard of it, Benin. 1990, England cricket had its first win against West Indies in 16 years in 24 matches. 9-wicket history is the first test in Kingston, Jamaica, and Lamb's first overseas century, 132. This was their first win against them in 16 years, so that's why it's in here.
And do I care?
Well, that's up to you. 1990 as well, Steve Jackson's Games was raided by the United States Secret Service, prompting the latter formation of the Electronic Frontier Foundation.
Who's Steve Jackson?
Steve Jackson Games. It's a game company. Let me look this up here really quick.
Never heard of it. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes. Oh, these guys, Munchkin. That's why. I have Munchkin. That's a great game. I love Munchkin. So they were raided. Okay. Well, of course they get raided. People don't like games like this. So, Star Munchkin. That sounds interesting. I'd love to play that. What else we got here? 91, U.S. Embassy in Kuwait officially reopens. And we also have uprising against Saddam Hussein began in Iraq, leading to the death of more than 25,000 people, mostly civilians. Jeez. 92, Jenny Thompson swam 100-meter freestyle world record, 54.48 seconds at the U.S. Olympic Trials in Indianapolis, Indiana. Passed famous GDR drug-tainted record, Christine Otto, 1986, by 0.25 seconds. So unaided by drugs, she passed that record. So now it's legit.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, that is
So extraordinary. 92 as well, Bosnia and Herzegovina declared its independence from the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. And 1 year later, authorities near Waco, Texas negotiated unsuccessfully with Branch Davidians during the Waco thing.
Yeah.
93 as well, a new expansion NHL team owned in Anaheim, California by Disney, received its name inspired by the 1992 Disney movie The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Quack.
And then they changed it to the Ducks.
Yeah. So, at least it's not the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim or some bullshit like that. 93, New York Yankees owner George Steinbrenner, this guy, oh my god, is reinstated as general partner of the team. He was banned because of his relationship with convicted gambler Howie Spira. So, but was he banned afterward, or was he this? Is this saying he was banned, or he was banned afterward? Because this is saying he was reinstated.
Reinstated. He was banned and then reinstated.
Okay.
You can't be around anything in gambling when you're an owner like that. You can't be associated at all.
Yeah. 93 as well, Pavel Bure scored twice to become the first player in Vancouver's 23-year history to record 50 goals in an NHL season that Canucks beat the Buffalo Sabres 5-2 in Hamilton. What else do we got here? 94, Senate rejected a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. Why?
Because they can't balance the damn thing. They don't want to be made to. It's that simple.
Yep. We also have 95, Belgium ended military conscription. That's good. And the part of Houston began using new area code 281. 96, Atlanta's Lenny Wilkins became the first coach in NBA history to reach 1,000 career victories when the Hawks beat Cleveland Cavaliers 76-48. Wait, 74-68. Blech.
Yeah, he was a player and then became a coach.
Yeah, just had some number dyslexia there. That was weird. New toll-free 888 area code introduced in the U.S. So all right. And plans approved allowing traffic cameras High Harrington and Shap, England. Okay, I guess in those areas for traffic cameras.
What that means.
It must be like neighborhoods.
I guess.
England is like they have. England is like white China. Like the only.
What's approved? Yeah.
Well, they're traffic cameras.
Oh, okay.
This is all for surveillance.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
all that stuff. 1997, Canadian Elvis Stojko hit the first quad-triple combination jump in the history of figure skating competition to win the championship series final in Hamilton, Ontario. That's cool. Puerto Rican boxer Hector Camacho stopped Sugar Ray Leonard in 5th round in Atlantic City, New Jersey to retain IBC middleweight title, the only time Leonard was knocked out and sent him into permanent retirement. Wow.
Yep,
Knocked him out so hard he stopped
Camacho.
playing.
Yeah.
1998, Mark Martin drove his Ford Taurus to victory in the inaugural NASCAR Winston Cup event at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Martin finished 1.6 seconds ahead of teammate Jeff Burton. Dang. 98 as well, Titanic became the first film to gross over $1 billion worldwide. Impressive. 2000, we're finally in the home stretch. 2000s.
There we go.
Hans Bleeks assumed the position of Executive Chairman of United Nations Monitoring, Verification, and Inspection Commission, UNMOVIC. What the hell kind of a title is... What in the name of communist bullshit is going on in the United Nations? In the year 2000 as well, the Constitution of Finland was rewritten. 2001, Carolina Senator Ron Francis scored a goal on his 38th birthday in a Hurricanes 3-1 win over New York Islanders to become only the second player in NHL history to score 50-plus points for 20 straight seasons. Awesome. 2002, the Envistat environmental satellite successfully reached an orbit of 800 kilometers, or 500 miles, above the Earth on its 11th launch, carrying the heaviest payload to date at 8,500 kilograms, or 9.5 tons. And from the other source, it says it was successfully launched, yada, yada, yada. With a diameter of 4.7 meters as well. Cool. 2002 as well, the peseta was discontinued as official currency of Spain and was replaced with the euro, with the E right there. And the reason why I have this is from a cartoon movie I absolutely love. But it just made me, the peseta made me remember this one scene here. So...
I'll bet we can make that. 2 pesetas says we can.
2 pesetas. So all the way back in like the 1400s or whatever this was. 1600s, I guess.
You lose.
So he won his 2 pesetas. But yeah, that was like hundreds of years old, that currency, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We also have the U.S. invasion of Afghanistan. Operation Anaconda began in eastern Afghanistan as U.S. Special Operations Forces infiltrated the Shahag-Nukot Valley in eastern Afghanistan. 2003, legendary Mount St. Mary's basketball head coach Jim Phelan won final game of 49-year career as Mountaineers won 60-56 over Central Connecticut State's Phillying 830 wins in NCAA record, 1,354 games. Dang. We also have management of the United States Customs Service and the United States Home Secret Service moved to the United States Department of Homeland Security. All right, so they're moving their offices. Nationals Barry Trotz set NHL record for most games coached with an expansion team from inception as Predators score a 5-0 overtime win over Chicago. This was his 392nd game, passing Terry Crisp, who had 391 with Tampa Bay. All right. The International Criminal Court held its inaugural session in The Hague. 2005, in Roper v. Simmons, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the execution of juveniles who were found guilty of murder was unconstitutional, but, we can still tax them, on their paychecks and all that stuff for some reason. 2006, English language Wikipedia reached its 1 millionth article, Jordan Hill Railway Station. All right, that's pretty cool. 2007, squatters, quote-unquote, were evicted from Ungern in Copenhagen, Denmark, provoking the March 2007 Denmark riots. And tornadoes swarmed across the southern United States, killing at least 20 people. 8 of the deaths were at a high school in Enterprise, Alabama. That sucks. Well, literally, but pun not intended, but welcome. Not making light of a bad situation.
Right.
People died. In 2008 as well, the Armenian police clashed with peaceful opposition rally protesting against allegedly fraudulent presidential elections. As a result, 10 people were killed. Because nothing says the people are wrong than killing them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
2009, Stephen Holcomb piloted USA 1 sled to victory in the 4-man competition at the World Bobsled Championships at Mount Van Hoevenberg, New York. The first American win in the event in 50 years.
Wow.
Good job. 2011, a tomb of a 700-year-old female mummy discovered by road workers opened in Tenzhou, Jinshou, China. 1 year after that, Eurozone unemployment reached a historical high of 10.7%. Yikes. That means more than 1 in 10 people do not have a job in the Eurozone. That is scary. Yeah. 2013, the 2013 U.S. budget, sequestration, came into effect, whatever that is. 2014, 29 people were killed and 130 were injured by a group of knife-wielding terrorists at Kunming Railway Station, China. Yikes. And the other source says 35 people were killed and 143 injured. So, between 29 to 35 were killed, between 130 to 143 were injured by just a bunch of people with knives. Oh, crazy. 2014, U.S. President Barack Hussein Obama warned Russian President Vladimir Putin over involvement in Ukraine. Obviously, he didn't listen. 2016, Forbes' richest list released. Bill Gates was number 1 with $75 billion. Number of world's billionaires shrunk to 1,810. Still way too many. 2016...
I wonder if I was on that list.
Well, no. Maybe in Russia or China, if you count Zen, yen, or 2016, the gene for gray hair IRF4 discovery was announced by scientists from University College London in Nature Communications. All right, so that's something we can both be interested in.
I don't understand what that means, though. The gene. Oh,
the genetic. The gene. What causes gray hair?
Okay.
2016, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred sent a strong message on the issue of domestic violence, issuing a 30-game suspension to New York Yankees closer Aroldis Chapman. Yeah, don't beat your wife, you freaking idiot. She's a human being. 2016, South Korean opposition members of parliament set a world record for longest filibuster at 9 days, which was 192 hours, trying to block anti-terror bill. Block anti-terror. Well, what was in the bill? Yeah. So... Because you know how they like to, oh, this is the Super Cuddle Wuggy Hubwums bill. And then it's like, this bill subjugates this people to be exterminated. It's like, what? 2016, 2 Guatemalan military officers were convicted of sexual slavery during the country's civil war. First ever prosecution of sexual slavery during an armed conflict. Dang. We also have U.S. primary elections, Super Tuesday. Both Republican Donald Trump and Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton won 7 states each. So a tie. That's 2017, Gustav Klimt's painting Beauregard sold for $59.3 million in London. And I know we're already over our hour, but I just want to see what this painting looks like really quick. Okay. So that looks pretty cool. I wouldn't pay $15 million for it, but it's, I mean, that's still a really, like, that's a really cool painting.
Would you pay $15 for it?
I would pay $15 for it. 2018, earliest evidence of figural tattoos, a bull and a sheep on two naturally mummified bodies from Egypt's pre-dynastic period, 3,351 to 3,017 BC.
Wow.
Published, so 5,000 years ago. Published in journal.
Men.
Yeah, well, they were. So this is a tattoo depicting a bull and a sheep.
Yeah.
You know, on these mummies. That's awesome. 2018, Vladimir Putin in his annual state address claims Russia had an invincible intercontinental cruise missile. Okay. 2020, Turkey launched major offensive against Syrian government in northern Syria after 36 Turkish soldiers were killed in air and artillery strikes 3 days earlier. That's an act of war. So, Turkey should launch... Wait a minute. Yeah, they should launch that attack. Because, Syria attacked them first. 2021, former French President Nicolas Sarkozy was sentenced to 3 years for trying to bribe a judge. Good. 2022, cargo ship carrying 4,000 luxury Volkswagen Group cars sunk off the Portuguese Azores archipelago 2 weeks after it caught fire. Wow. Wow, that sucks. We also have Joe Biden in his State of the Union address stated Vladimir Putin had badly miscalculated by invading Ukraine. Yes, he did. A rare moment of actual intelligence, from good old Brandon here. 2023, at least 1,000 Iranian schoolgirls were exposed to toxic gas attacks since November amid accusations they were an attempt to close schools after girls participated in recent anti-government protests. Wow. How obscenely awful. And of course Iran. Hopefully that's never going to happen again over there. Those people are being given a chance of a lifetime to take their country back. 2023, ruling party candidate Bola Tinubu declared the winner of Nigeria's presidential election with 37% of the vote, amid claims of fraud from opposition parties. All right, almost done. 2 more articles left. 2023, social media site TikTok announced a 60-minute daily screen time limit for users under 18, though with an opt-out clause, in response to concerns about its addictive and harmful algorithms. So
basically, you can opt out so you can watch as much as you want?
Yeah. So
that's toothless.
Yep. And last but not least, 2 years ago, we have a funeral for Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was held in Moscow, attended by thousands, after he was murdered in prison as a political prisoner. Yeah, we covered that the other day when he was killed. But that shall conclude the show for today. Once again, please check the underbar in the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things on the Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. We can only bring you a portion for more. Please, by all means, continue your own path of self-education. Utilize our sources, your springboard, your own iceberg, and all that stuff. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you are you. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, we stream every day at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Central, 7 Mountain, and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! In stream here, and in stream here.